Hello, hello! It's Rebecca, and it is already time for me to set up my bullet journal for March. I have a really cute theme planned, so let's get right to it. The first color that I think of when I think of March is usually green, so I wanted to have a theme that incorporated the color. However, since March is my birthday month, I wanted to do something that was special to me, so I decided to draw a cute little panda doodle with it. I've loved drawing pandas ever since I was little because they're so simple yet adorable, and I've always related to their love for sleeping and eating. So it just felt right to choose a panda for this month. To start on the cover, I began with writing March about halfway down the page in a bold lowercase script font. I actually just tried my best to copy the Snell round hand script font. I started with a micron to do the outline and filled in the thicker strokes with a tombow. Under that, I started on a doodle of a small panda that is sleeping. Most of the outline for the body of the panda was made up of a lot of partial ovals. The head of the panda I tried to make more gumdrop shaped so that the panda had chubbier cheeks. Before I colored the panda, you can see that I drew small U-shapes for the eyes to convey that the panda was sleeping. Instead of using a solid black marker for the panda, I chose a dark gray to color the ears, arms, legs, and eye spots so that you could still see the black marker underneath it. Although it was a little hard to see, I did go in with a light gray to add a small shadow to the underside of the panda as well as 2 pink blush marks on the cheeks. Moving on to the bamboo, I started with having a pencil sketch for the direction that I wanted the bamboo to go for the doodle. Then, I tried to evenly draw sections along the pencil line with one curve at the top of the section and one at the bottom as if you're enclosing each section of the bamboo in parentheses. For each of those sections, I just connected the curve with concave vertical lines. So that meant that the lines curved inwards towards the center of the pencil, if that made sense. If it didn't, just watch the video and you'll get an idea of what I'm talking about. After all of the bamboo stalks were drawn, I added some leaves to fill in some of the empty space. They were very easy to draw with just a line and then 3 leaf shapes branching off of it. I colored the bamboo, alternating between 2 shades of green for the stalks and then used 2 brighter shades of green for the leaves. Unfortunately, the different shades didn't turn out well on camera, but it did add more depth to the doodle. I also took a very light gray marker to add some shadow to the white fur parts of the panda. To quickly finish up the front cover, I just went in with some brown and green washi tape to fill in some of that empty space. I actually was incredibly satisfied and happy with how the cover turned out, but especially with the panda doodle. Next up, I made the quote page, and the one I chose reads, "Bend but never break." I mixed in the script font from the cover with a more simple uppercase font. I also drew a few leaves around the words. I honestly didn't have many ideas of what quotes would go well with this theme, so when I searched up quotes, I found this one that related well with bamboo, which will sway in the wind but is resilient to breaking. The more that I reflected on this quote while working on the page, it felt like it was a good quote to remind myself that it is important to be open-minded in life, but to also trust in my beliefs that I have already rooted. Pun definitely intended. Anyway, I drew some bamboo and a panda to the right of the quote, and this panda is sitting and holding a section of the bamboo in its arms. I mentioned earlier that I was really happy with how the panda turned out on the cover page, and I think that comes from my lack of art lately. I always used bullet journaling as a way to continue to be creative, and so I haven't really been focused on doing any art lately to the point that I honestly felt like giving up due to a lack of time to invest in growing that skill set. However, doodling the pandas just reminded me that I don't necessarily have to be good at drawing to make art. I've really just been enjoying the moments that I have a chance to draw like this, and that is all that I've ever really wanted to get out of art. Overall, in comparison to the cover, this quote page felt a little empty. I wanted the focus to stay on the quote itself, so I just added a few green dots under the quote and a bit of washi tape to finish up. For the monthly spread, I wrote out March across the top of the page as large as possible. I jumped around while working on this spread quite a bit, so I'll just run through a really quick summary of the things that I did. I began with the headers by highlighting above the calendar where I later wrote the days of the week, as well as writing the section headers for my monthly goals and growth tracker. I then worked on adding a small doodle of 2 bamboo stalks to the right of the calendar and made the top of each box on the calendar into a bamboo section. I loved how it turned out, so I then colored in the calendar as well as the bamboo using the different shades of green before writing the days of the week and dates in my black fineliner. The titles looked a little plain, so I went back with a light green mildliner to add a drop shadow to the bottom right of the goals and growth headers. Finally, I just wanted to add a small leaf doodle and the panda doodle for the spread where the panda looks like it is just leaning against the calendar and taking a nap. I find that one of my problems with sketching doodles is that I don't have a good ability to imagine the object that I'm drawing in the 3D space, so it honestly is really hard to sometimes draw doodles from a different perspective. It is something that I want to work on more in the future. Nonetheless, I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out, and I felt like it portrayed the exact tired feeling that I wanted. Then I just placed some washi tape around the pages, and this monthly spread was complete. Similar to the previous spreads, I started by writing the title in the top left corner of the spread. This is another one that I jumped around a lot when working on, but it was overall very straightforward. I wanted to draw a mini calendar on the spread as well as have sections to plan out my content and write notes, so I highlighted the top of the mini calendar before filling it in with the days of the week and dates and drew dots for where the titles will go next to the other sections. For each of the days of the week, I wrote out a section header in a script font in the top left and the date in the top right. Besides that, I also added small leaf doodles in the bottom right of each section. Next, for the content and notes areas, I used a pink marker to draw the box, while I used a dark green marker for the days of the week. To finish the sections for the days of the week, I also connected the day and the date with a light green line for the header. As I was trying to decide what I wanted to include in the voiceover for this video, I felt like I didn't have much because February went by so quickly. However, I did get a lot of good rest for the month like I wanted to. I also felt like I had the time to just edit as a hobby with my Genshin shorts, so that was really good for sparking my creativity again. I will hopefully be getting back into the swing of video editing here on YouTube, but I'm also really thankful for the amazing growth that I've been blessed with on Twitch. I can't wait to keep growing with my community, and I'm hoping to have some fun things planned this month. Last but not least, I am a cat aunt again as my roommate adopted an adorable little cat. Now for a short summary of the rest of the page, I just drew some bamboo doodles next to the mini calendar, and then in the bottom right corner of the page I drew some more bamboo, a leaf, and a panda holding a sign that read, "You got this." I thought it was really cute and that it would give me some encouragement during the week to get things done. Then, just to wrap up the spread, I added some washi tape in the empty space under the mini calendar. Overall, it was a very quick and easy weekly, so that is it. I'm so happy with this panda and bamboo theme, and I hope you are able to get some inspiration from it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!